Okay, well, congrats to Kentucky. They came in here and beat us, and we didn't do enough to win. So it's a disappointing loss, and that's on us. So every loss is disappointing. This is disappointing. I thought we hung in there in the first half, come out in the second half, take it down and score, give up a untouched kickoff, which is ridiculous. Take it down and score again and answer again, and then give up two wide open wheel routes, two-play drive, ridiculous. We've given up way too many big plays on defense. Special teams needs to be more consistent in offense. We can't have, two fumbles that really hurt us. So you do those things, you're not going to win. So we didn't deserve to win. They did, and we've got work to do. We've got to now go play a really, really good opponent. And if we can't get those things corrected, it will not be a fun day for us. So we've got a lot of work to do this week.
Coach, after you guys did go up 17-7, do you feel like it was just a lack of composure or a loss of focus? Did guys relax maybe a little bit once you got up two scores? What do you think the key pressure point there for what happened?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was a kickoff return, and the guy went untouched. Obviously, we had too many guys into the boundary. He bounced it to the field, and he's untouched. So it's bad. And then we respond again, and you give up two wide open wheel routes, ridiculous. So I don't, it was a bust here and there. It might have been some coaching things we need to do better. A lot of things, as I look at it, probably need to be corrected and fixed. So I'm not going to blame it all on the players. I think we need to do a better job coaching and making sure that we put our guys in a better position to make those plays.
On the two fumbles, did you feel like it was a good defensive play, or your guys just didn't do a good enough job of protecting the ball?
No, we didn't do a good enough job. I mean, we work ball security every day, probably more so than any team in the country. We've done a great job as far as not fumbling the ball much this year, which is hard to do. Interceptions occasionally happen. We've done a great job of not fumbling the ball. We let one sneak out that we got a touchdown on that shouldn't have happened. Luckily, the call was in our favor, and then just trying to get a few extra yards. We can't let the ball come out. I mean, we're driving the ball down the field, and you got to secure the football. And then quarterback is going to scramble. I know he's trying to get extra yards in the first down, but you have to protect the football. They can't, display it for them to put their helmet and punch it out. So, attention to detail needs to happen, and they made a couple of physical plays and knocked it out, and it hurt us.
What went wrong there on that last touchdown by Ray Davis there? It seemed like he had a lot of open space when he got to the second level. Did you see any breakdowns in the defense there?
Well, I mean, I can't tell from the sideline. He's untouched, which is ridiculous. We wanted to push him back. They're almost in field goal range, so we pretty much had an all-out blitz called, and I guess someone didn't contain their gap, and it snuck through, and that sometimes happens when you're all-out blitzing. You hope to get a negative play, but if somebody one person to do their job, it's going to create a crease. So I assume that's what happened, just from looking at it on the field, but not until I see it on video will I be able to tell you.
A couple personal foul penalties. The first one to start the game didn't really hurt you guys, but the second one seems like it may have hindered what could have been a touchdown drive. Your thoughts on the emotions of the games out there?
Completely disappointing. We couldn't have talked about that garbage any more than we could have. And the person who did it is a great player for us. He's a great young man. So it can't happen. And costly penalties, and just foolish, childish, and our guys are better than that, and that person's better than that too, and I'm sure he'll get it fixed, but that stuff can't happen.
Coach, it seems like over the last several weeks, getting off the field on third down, you forced the opponents into third and long, but getting off the field, especially down the second half of this one, as well as going back to the UVA and Miami games, is there anything you're seeing there on the third down defense that you feel like teams are maybe taking advantage of it all?
Well, to be quite honest, I think the last three games on defense have been subpar, and we need to do better than that. So it'll start with me and our coaches first. We need to have a better plan. So I think that's the main culprit. There needs to be a better plan put in place to make sure that it doesn't happen, and you give up 100-yard rushers and 300-yard passers and a ton of points in 3 straight games. So we just got to get it fixed, and then we got to work down to our players. We got to put them in the best position to succeed, and they got to go make plays. So Sometimes when you're doing something, there has to be a little change here and there. There has to be something they haven't seen. You can't just run the same thing every week against really good opponents. There's got to be some creativity and some coaching going on, so we need to make sure we do that.
Jeff, at times you guys were able to get pressure on Leary, get him sacked, but it just seemed like the pressure wasn't consistent. What was Kentucky doing up front to kind of stem some of those blitzes that you guys were trying?
Well, they had a couple play actions where they're run blocking and kind of keep us on the line of scrimmage and allow them a little more time to make the throw. And we got to get off blocks and we got to cover better. You know, I mean, there's too many guys running wide open. You know, when some guys are wide open, it's easy to make the throw, and that's what happened today. So, you know, we got to fix that. Well, I mean, I do think we played to the end. I do think that we found ways to respond in the second half when we're not playing our best. The fact of the matter, we just gave up too many big plays. I mean, you can't give up that many big plays. You can't give up those big plays in the special teams. You know, it can't happen. And then, you know, the 2 turnovers were costly. So, you know, you add those things up, and you're going to lose by 7 points just like we did. So I like our team. I think they want to win. And we're going to have to just learn from all the mistakes we made today and try not to repeat them as much as we can.
Jeff, I know all losses hurt, but considering this is UK, does this one hurt maybe a little bit more than the others? And does it help to have that game next week against Florida State to rebound from that?
Yes, this one hurts more than the others. You know, we wanted to win this game. We put a lot of emphasis on it. I give Kentucky credit. They came in here and beat us. So, you know, congrats to them. We didn't do a good enough job. And, yeah, it stings. You know, our fans were great. They showed out. They wanted to win. They did their part. We didn't do ours. So you got to look in the mirror and man up and you know, work hard to fix it because we have a top 4 opponent that we got to play next week down in Charlotte, and we're going to have to play a whole lot more efficient football to have any chance to be in the game.